Why is this trying to download TensorFlow? Oh, this is this model thing. I kind of need to do this too. I forget why this project doesn't build, but they really bloated the crap out of it. So we set up with this new project, but I need to set up maybe another new one. Just kind of replicating the scene manager here. More for this little layout. Render, start graphics, kill graphics, and do frame. On widgets create is like make the graphics. Hmm. We need UI scene because this derives from UI scene. This is more of like the endless tunnel template being stripped. I have it the other way around where I turn the endless tunnel example on the PC. Then there's another endless tunnel with all the AGDK code. So Android has this thing, there's a video on it. Why does it show such ugly faces and Raspberry Pi Zeros? He kind of explains the main thing on this video, game on surviving OpenGL context loss. But he still kind of doesn't tell you, and then all his links are broken, and this was 11 years ago. So yeah, it's like terrible. I mean, it's okay. It does the fundamental the brain hack, but then you get this code with all this other code, and you're pissed because you don't have no idea how bad errors you'll get in Android Studio and how all this works with all the new CMake and Kotlin garbage collection features and stuff, and how you explain Java, JNI to programmers. Don't even use Kotlin unless you're using it for the build script. So on kill graphics, on kill graphics on UI scene, we need to import UI scene. So basically, I've taken the endless tunnel example, looked at the code, see what I needed. I made my main loop into this very simple wrapper. Later, I'll need Init platform parameters and base game framework. That is the game activity stuff that the HDDK tunnel uses, and I'll upgrade that, and I'll merge it with my project that has the let me turn the phone on, that has this GPS game working, which is Google Play services. And we can also mess around on the Raspberry Pi and Metal. Let's see what's Metal. We'll connect to the old Mac Pro Mini, but this is like Metal CPP without me knowing how to do the iPhone support yet. And I've done some basic iPhone apps with OpenGL and Metal, and then I messed it up with the alignment. So I'm just going through the tutorial and making it work for macOS first, and then I should be brave enough to jump in and just write a wrapper for the Metal. Because here you got C++ code, then you got object plus plus or whatever this is called, M stuff, Coco, whatever, and then you just hook into it with C++, and then you write your entire game in C++, and you just write a renderer as you go along. Because my other projects now do, not all of them, but they do have a renderer class, kind of how the game activity example had. So I do have a renderer class in this one. Android comes with it. But the thing about it is that HDDK tunnel doesn't have a renderer class, and it doesn't have this stupid texture asset class. It has a texture class. Now the way the stupid texture asset class works is it crashes stuff. If I remove the share pointer stuff, we could see that in action. Let's see how I did that. Oh wait, I already overrode that. Yeah, I already deleted that file. I just like straight up said, who cares? Why would I fix this if I'm just gonna not use it anyway? So what we have to do is using this format scene manager. Let's open the NDK examples and just open the folder and copy UI scene over. It's the only file we're really missing from anything. And then we'll worry about things like sound and joystick. That's like, who cares about that for now? Even though getting all of it to work is like the real Android. So this is the utility class. The utility class does time and sine wave and some other time blink function. And we'll see that the UI class just has a bunch of spaghetti code that tries to take care of like everything or something. Yeah, pulse amount, just like garbagey code. Well, the pulse amount is cool because, yeah, it does the animation for the buttons to be like bubbly, which is very nice. But we have to worry about widgets, which is basically their stupid quad system and their stupid text rendering system. It's stupid because it's like ASCII font predefined in some file, which has its own perks, but they're not like parsing a file with free type, which I will get to work with signed distance field. So there's like all these things, and it's like when you try to cross-platform, you got to start worrying about things like multiple libraries. So you're compiling these multiple libraries on different platforms, and just like everything is different on every platform. Like you would need to get curl into here and free type to metal. Then there's also this thing. So when I run that, this is Raspberry Pi. Let's ask it to give us video. I need to install ffmpeg. Fuck. Damn it. Well, whatever. Let's just see if that'll... I just don't want to bloat the whole system. Oh yeah, this is the game. This is more of like the prototype feature version. We have to jump over that character because they have a trigger on them. Yeah, this apply transition is a cool thing. But what we want is just to rewrite this render function inside this UI scene thing and just deprecate everything for now. Like make it as clean as possible. No UI widget. We will have like UI quad that we will code up. And it has all the UI widget code. Which should be like refactored into its own class really. Just to like make all these things better, cleaner. Only exists between on start graphics and kill graphics. Yeah, so this is like the main point. Is pass on start graphics and on kill graphics to everything because it is the lifeblood of an Android and iOS app. That is like the thing I've been avoiding. Well, not really, but it's because you think like you're writing with the other app, and then you don't know until like things start going wrong. You lose your OpenGL context, and you're like, why am I getting this like OpenGL error a lot? This is some other project, but I think this renders a random terrain. It actually looks pretty cool on the video. What this is? It's someone's like museum garbage junk app. Oh, it has a TCC. What the fuck is TCC? Some other compiler. WASM. This is interesting how he has this. It's all set up like this. Huh. Very, very C-like stuff. Random texture data is just a fucking thing. It's a way. It's a really like old school way of defining memory. This is very lean and mean. All right. Android USB devices. Oh, this is cool. Alright, let's just open our UI thing and clean it up. I'll keep like one thing in here. It's kind of early to do this, but keep it like that. We will need the shader. If true, please wait screen instead of the interface. Okay. Virtual void render. Add a new widget. Get rid of that. Set default button. The wait screen we can keep. Add navigation. On create widgets. Kill graphics. Do frame. Damn it. class widget, we're just gonna nuke. Kind of gonna want to get rid of these for now. Anything to do with input, even though it's very important later, but okay. Just gonna nuke this. Default button. A lot of this might get revived later, but that's the point. It's like we don't care for now. All we care about is seeing stuff like this. How is okay, the transition clock, does that exist? Yeah, we want the transition clock for now. Just need some sort of little code left over that has some sort of timing. It's already using the header file that has those functions, so it's fine to keep that. Let's just do this. On-screen resized, graphics manager, get instance widget count, has graphics manager, delete widgets, uncreate widgets. Okay, so it needs to do this. We need to know that when the screen resizes, it has to delete the widgets and regenerate them. But it doesn't really need to do anything here. Doesn't, it doesn't. I don't need this. Okay, this is really the gist of it all. Okay, if wait screen, we just draw like a different color or some yeah, we need to keep this. What is transition duration? Did I delete that? Uh-oh. This might be the only thing we want up here. I don't care if this stays, but we can't make it stay because we don't have widget. Okay. And what does this rely upon? see how this compiles. Just did this stupid surgery, I call it. I'm gonna get errors, but the next step is just knowing what the errors are. We didn't even sync the Gradle, but whatever. We kind of need like some AI support here. Damn it. Okay. It's kind of bad to tell it about one class platform and then another. The AIs just gets like really confused, even if they're really good. Oh, not found. Cool. So FFmpeg does not work in the Raspberry Pi. It does, but oh, the IP is already right. Whoops. So this is what Raspberry Pi shows. Fuck. Where's the file? Where did it transfer the file? Cool. We have no clue. Let's try this. Oh, it'd be easier to do it like this. Oh, that didn't work. So it's running a shader, hot reloader, and some shaders on the Raspberry Pi like that. And I don't know if the input works on this sample. See if it does. So this is like just getting the graphics to kind of be manipulated. That's supposed to be a fart shader. That kind of something. So what I did was made it easier to edit this. I do have some folder, I forget where it's at, that it's holding this. It's like something like this folder. And then in plugins, I connect to it through SSH like this, and it's like an FTP thinger. It's kind of like doing web development, but more like graphics development. Right. And I think R reloads the shader. Yeah, hot reloads it. So we can hot reload shaders in Raspberry Pi. We can't do it yet on the other ones, but we have the code here. It's similar. Let's see what Android Studio. Alright. Fatal error. Android native glue H not found. Uh-oh. That's not good. It's like very unfortunate. Shit. What is that gonna mean for us? It means the whole thing is broken. I broke the whole app. Android native app glue. So do I do it like this? But this is an extern C, which is not C++ like this. No, it is an extern C thing. Okay, so I needed to add that. I think. I'm just guessing this. I mean, obviously we're going to have more errors, but our key codes, can I avoid having this? It's actually a very simple HTTP file. It has like 6 lines of code that actually do something. It's kind of relevant. Like, what if we got rid of it? It's like your main game key codes. Our key codes. It's just like such a nice name. So generic, it doesn't mean anything. Well, at least rename it. This would be like the least we can do. Ah, it doesn't want to. It's being Android Studio. CMake looks okay. Alright. Yeah, Colo engine is not HPP, it's .h, which is another confusing stupid thing about C and C++. Okay, native engine save state. I believe ours is called Colo engine save state. Set tab. Alright, our shader text quad. We don't have these files. We will need a shader file thing at some point. We'll make a really fancy cross-platform shader thinger. Oh wow, it has all this cool code. But let's hope that this doesn't have anything to do with widgets. It looks clean. Ah, that looks like a catastrophic doomsday thing. UI quads. Oh yeah, we don't have this yet. Okay, so that's fine. What else? Main shader, we don't have this yet. It'd be nice to code it right now, but I have to make pizza. We want it in the same type of style because it'll help us later. Alright, we don't have this. We don't have this. We don't have dialogue scene. We don't. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare right here. This is the file we haven't really touched that has all this stupid stuff like dialogue scene, direction. Oh, this is stupid. Just did it really fast. Just comment everything out. Who cares? Because we need to render background animation, shape renderer. Welcome scene render background. We should actually do this. This is actually, and then we need to recycle. We need to have a render and a render background, I believe. Because it'd be nice to separate the two, have two of them. Sometimes you don't want a render background, or maybe sometimes you don't want to render foreground. Kind of like in Source Engine, so that's kind of our inspiration, Source Engine. And we could have IMGUI in this too, from the AGDK example, with plot. So if we have all data code on input event, why doesn't this exist? Because it's a different code base, isn't it? Fuck. It's bad. It's very bad. It's horrible. Cooked event key callback. We can look it up of why this is. Let's just fix this crap. Alright, get rid of this. This is just the garbage, not destroyed. Okay, that's fine. Is this our only problem? I hope it is. There might be some linking problems. Okay, if we go into the AGDK version, which is more of what we're targeting in the end, this thing. This thing even has Java in it. It has all kinds of native wrappers and stuff. Alright, nothing found. What file is this? It's the engine file. It's the native engine file. Yeah, this one has more stuff, and you have to like know, like vibrator, utility, and all kinds of whatever. An app command, native engine. It's like, do we need this? Like, this has dual renderers, Vulkan and OpenGLES, Glass, OpenGLES 3.0, but it doesn't have OpenGL 2.0. So, okay, game loop. How does he handle the? Okay, he does a bunch of graphic shit. And he doesn't. Okay, he doesn't even care. Oh wait, game loop doesn't even do anything here. Is it just overridden by the other engine? Probably. Process cooked event. Because the reason is life cycle event. Oh, what the fuck is that? I don't think we have that. System event manager. Oh, great. I don't have that either, but whatever. This has more like stuff. It might be a little wrong to do it this way, but key event callback. Touch event callback. User input manager. Oh, great. So they attach this whole other system to this, right? Here's the vibration system, or that's actually the vibration system hybrid translation, I think. Whatever. Yeah, input SDK provider, input SDK remapping listener. Oh, that's always nice. So you have to deal with that initially. It actually saves time later, but we're just gonna uncomment that code probably. Input util. Let's take a look at this. We have this file too. It's very kind of, yeah, it's like, what else is at the input event? Usually you put it into renderer. Yeah, let's take a look at this for a second. In our other game, how we do input, we do it inside of renderer and a bunch of other things. Yes, it's like turned into spaghetti disaster, which is cool. I like coding this. Oh yeah, we did this global thing here. We did it even like more. I tried to mix the PC code and the Android code and just like it worked for the input basically, but not for the graphics. Well, it kind of worked for the graphics too, but I just didn't know what I had to handle. It could be revised to handle it, but it's just a really would be because it could be done a different way. It might end up being done a different way where you have all the graphics elements data, and that's how you do it, and you just like regenerate the entire state in one go instead of relying on scenes. Which is kind of what we're fighting here. Which way do we want to go? Say it made these interfaces, which is kind of good. This is a good way to do it. To really organize things, but then since I had one texture for everything, it's like, then there's like a problem. Not really though. It would just have to tell the texture thing, reload the texture every time, and but the other objects have to know when that's ready. So it's like interesting conditions to meet. Alright, handle input. Yeah, this does it through this handle input function. So this handle input is app on input, right? That's what it's defined to be. Yeah. App user data. Yeah, on app command is equal to handle input, and then it calls handle input. Or handle command, sorry. Handle command. Oh, it does this. Whoops. But one of the results can be. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, okay. In Android main. What was the error again? Well, I already forgot where I was. But we get the point. This is just basically a on input event. Yeah, there's an input event handle proxy. Yeah, so it's a handle input thing. And it gets this user data again. So we really have to go to the declaration of Android Abstract. See, because this one has the game activity, right? This is where the difference is. This is what I didn't explain in the beginning of the video, is the fact that native Android app and a GDDK app has a different struct for Android underscore app, and that like creates a burden of something changed, but why did it change? Because it's a game, so it made it more complicated. Like, that was supposed to save us time, not like waste our time, which it did, but whatever. So this native app glue, let's open this. Yeah, so struct Android app. Struct Android app on input. So this is the native app. So this is just a plain old app. No game type. So I guess the Android operating system distinguishes the two. I don't know how that works. We could go read the source code. Android indicate issues. Calls to app domain are no longer necessary. See issues. Go look at this. It's always good to go look at all the issues early on. Like, we don't need to know about this particular issue, but we kind of need to know. Okay, so we're going to be doing that. We're compiling this for like really raw versions ourselves. It's always good to know how to do this. Yes, app visibility hidden. On app command, on input. My main app starts from. So you get to see all the hacky things people are trying to like suffer over. There's 128 issues, which is like kind of normal. Everything is broken, nothing works, but there's all these hackarounds. Okay. I guess they're being fixed. Drop 32x in support. Oh, damn it. Create a doc for PGO and native apps. I think this is like, yeah. What is PGO? Whatever. There's no screenshot, it's just like plain, whatever. Seems important then. Seems uncharted territory. Alright, so how does he do? So the input in the newer app type goes through this override key proxy cooked key thing. But this is already when it's done, the cooked key. What we wanted to know, like, why are they using all these game controller and platform loop stuff, and they have all this? Well, it's because they just wrote a different function for the struct, or maybe they kept the struct the same. We have to figure that out. Even though I do know like the answer in the back of my head right now, I can't say it for some reason. The real, it's like, how do I fix that error without breaking my future coding experience, which is like not gonna happen, but I might as well try and then like be like, oh, I know what it is now because I tried. But if I forget, it won't work. But it doesn't matter. Maybe next time I'll try. I'll semi remember, which is like the main driver of all this, just semi memory. Okay, so the native engine has key callback, touch event callback, which is like the same thing. Let's just see what this touch event and key callback thing does. Okay, input manager is setting this inside of native engine. Okay, so the way they're doing this is they're setting this in the constructor, and the NDK samples native engine, they are doing it inside the initializer. Is that where we got the error? It's wherever we got this error. Yeah, in the game loop. Which is kind of stupid. Because like every time it's got to just copy this address over here. It's like so dumb. It's copying this function that it needs to call. Engine handle input, right? And what does handle input do? It cooks the event. Yeah, because here you can see game loop doesn't do anything. It does, but it's being overridden in a different area, I believe. Because we got this thing called tunnel engine now, which does other weird JNI stuff, like GNI. There's GNI and there's JNI. One is for C++, GNI, and JNI is for Java to call C++. It's confusing because they're both like the same thing, really. Just an opposite, like, polarities or something. Because there's a bridge between GNI and JNI, so that's like those C files that are like have all this Java named C stuff that's doing all this translational get input methods. Because there's a whole documentation on Java website article on JNI and how you use the API in between the two languages. And I really hate it and think it's stupid, but it's kind of cool because the something can't be uncompiled or something, but they can be. Alright, so this is more for data state machine. Is loading work in progress? Is authentication complete? These are all like stuff that's not, that's for saving and calling Google. I always wonder what happens when like it just gets like interrupted between that function and you take out the battery. So do game loop, right? Yeah, like save progress will data state machine save your level. So we want it to save like, oh, the player's at this position on this level. There's a bullet flying and some stupid stuff like that. Like that's what you want. Because what if the graphics get killed in the middle of that and you have to like regenerate the next frame identically? And the same thing with like a circular buffer for multiplayer, which is nice. Yeah, okay, so tunnel engine, which is like native engine, and the other thing, pool events, which is basically getting input, pool game controller, which is getting the game controller's buttons, app input state, process cooked event, and it just says, okay, this is how this does it. Native engine gets the abstract of the cooked event, processes it through this stuff, and sends it to manager like this. So why can't we do it like this? Because we need to send this events to the manager. That's the goal. So we get this error, right? And handle input proxy is going to send handle input, and it's going to send it into cook event, and cook event is going to send it into the manager, right? Oh, it's going to send it to the callback. Oh, great. And who's the callback? Does handle proxy set the callback? No, handle input. Handle input's just like the input. Cook event callback event. Why is this so stupid? You can't understand what's happening. Just casting stupid stuff, getting the joystick. Alright, who cares? Basically, this has to go to the manager. And this cooked event thing, create cooked motion, blah blah, callback. It's like, where is the callback injected? I mean, it's always sent to the input manager. Oh, we're in this file. This is why. Yeah, this is where it does it. This cooked event callback gets the scene manager and throws it into here. Because this is actually a pointer to the static function up here. Now, it's wonderful because you got like a non-static function, this thing, calling a static function from the this cook event function after it's done from this event. And it's just like this one liner that does like 4 different things if you really think about it. Because it gets input, it parses it, it calls this, and it returns what this, if this worked or not, if this did something or not. Cool. It's way too convoluted. The new way they made it is a little better, but they're both convoluted in their own separate ways, and it's just so stupid. So how do we still get this import proxy handles bullshit to work? One way is to don't do it yet. Or we have to figure out how this does it. Process cooked event. How does process cooked event get called? Touch event callback, basically. Through the input manager. But the input manager is a piece of garbage because it does all that remapping crap that we don't want to do yet. Great. Go to declaration. Yeah, the input manager is like up here. This is the Java portion. Fuck. This is just some straight up language. Object oriented data types being casted. Should have fucking cast bullshit. Okay. How does init game base? How does the how does it get the input casted? Oh yeah, it does it right here. Does it do it in Tunnel Engine or does it do it in Native Engine? Or both? It's in Native Engine or something. Yeah, so Native Engine also gets sent app. And it does it right here, really. It just gets user data. Stupid ass user data thing. Basically, we have to copy the old example. Just take a simpler form of the game activity. And then later port it to the AGDK type. That sounds like stupid. And it is. It's just like ridiculous. It's really what we're doing. Is porting something we're not supposed to or something. Alright, so we're gonna get this input buffer Android swap input buffers. Oh, we have to call this? When does this get called? Does this get called in here? Where though? It does. Inside the glue. And inside right here. Platform event loop. Oh my god. Look how they're pooling the events. That's fantastic. That just looks like inside a 10 landfills inside a cave and trying to dig for gold with explosives and you die. Garbage just falls on you and you just don't have time to even eat. Cool. Um, so we're gonna have to do this type of input buffer thing here. We're gonna have to get the app and just call handle input. If there's no inputs yet, yeah, if there's no inputs, we could just wait. And if there is, we send it to the stupid manager. That's so fucking dumb. We have to like use their system from AGDK, but it's gonna require like a lot of like construction work. Just to, it's easier to copy paste the tunnel example and just mod it until it's your game instead of doing this. How do we know if there's an input event? Just call this thing called handle input. I don't know, call it Colo handle input just to give it that unique. Give it renderer. Renderer. Somehow that's supposed to cook an event. We'll figure that part out later. We just want it to compile for now. We're still going to get this Android swap function in here. And this is going to be called, instead of underscore app, it's going to be called mapp. And we are maybe have to get rid of all the autos. I like getting rid of the autos. I like it to be more C99, C98, okay. And why do we have all these errors? A out is supposed to be defined. We need A out to work. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, we just like include Android out, right? Extern OS stream Android out. Yeah, like, dude. Okay, this we can uncomment for now. Just get rid of all of this fast. I don't want to put it in here. Or do I? Where do I want to put it? Damn it. How should I do this? Okay, fine. I'll just put it in Android engine.h for now. And later I'll end up putting it everywhere anyway. But whatever. Just needs this. It's just nicer with that comment in there, and that's it. Android out.h, yeah. which includes this, which includes this, and show. Oh, how come this doesn't work? I can't just define a function without putting anything into header file? Sounds like work. Stupid C++ and stupid C, they both need to have this. Handle input. Why is there a function called handle input and handle input right next to each other? Yeah, this should actually be taking it, but I'll make this a virtual. Yeah, handle input should be a bold though. Handle command. And what does handle command do? Yeah, so we would need to call this engine handle input, and that would basically, we need to do this. And there. Handle command handles the context loss thing. Yeah, this can be an injector. But we need to get the command. What is the event? Like, how does it get this stupid ass event? Oh, it's an A input event, but it needs to get that through this Android swap buffer function, right? Because Android swap buffer, motion events, yeah. So we would still need to call some of this crap. It's kind of like the function I wrote for the class platform, where it's like we're just cycling, we're just pushing events onto the thing whenever they happen. Why doesn't this work? What the? Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. UI scene is reference vtable for UI scene undefined symbol. Sounds just like some stupid error. It is. Like, why do we care? Let's sync the project. I don't think it got synced. That's why it's not recognizing the elf linker. It's what was the error that it told us? Damn it! I should have memorized it by getting mad at it, but I didn't. I was just like, who cares? Blah blah blah. It should have been getting that error. When it shouldn't be getting that error, this is where like people just get stuck like me. You just don't know what to do. And it's just something simple with Android Studio, but it's actually super difficult for somebody that's never used this before. Like they're used to Visual Studio or their Linux development. Uh, this is where Cross Platform is just like annihilatingly annoying. The same thing with macOS and iOS. It's just like stupid. You have to just know stupid dumb things about the IDE and how it like you feed it. Oh, okay. So it built successfully the CMake. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, we still get this dumb error. I can tell just because the way it, how long it took. Okay, undefined symbol vtable for, what does that even mean? Well, who cares? Transition start should be defined though. Okay, fix that. Because here's the thing, UI scene defines UI scene. It's perfect. There's no problems here. It's all like clean code, perfectly coded. vtable, like what does missing key function? What is it derived from? Should be derived from scene. It is derived from scene. So scene has some sort of functionality we have to override. It might be these pointer down. So we need to provide these? Fuck, I don't want to provide these. Okay, fine, we will. At least it like... 'cause they had a bunch of crap in them. It's so stupid, we're just like... garbage collecting the object-oriented paradigm or something. What's the point? I think we need to delete this one. There should be an error in the C++ file because the scene got defined twice, didn't it? I don't know we needed that, but whatever. Double check that later. This is like error kill mode. Kill all the errors. vtable symbol. Virtual destructor. Okay. Sounds like something stupid is happening here. It should be up here. It's here. It's just some parsing error thing. Just like, don't have time for this. Oops. Yeah, I knew I was missing one thing. Just didn't want to say it. Because I didn't want to look for it. Okay. It's not going to display anything though. I'm just warming up the device too while it builds it. Installation successfully finished. Let's see if it just crashes. I guess it doesn't. It just doesn't do anything. Oh, cool. Does this crash? I don't know what this is. Okay. Yeah, HDDK tunnel crashes for whatever reason. Maybe because it doesn't have app thing. We need to change our icon. This is how the other app looks like. It has this motion stuff in it, which is kind of cool. Transitional. So this is like the test. Okay.